Alright, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And hi. So my name is Muhammad Hanif bin Nasaruddin and my metric number is 2973X6. So now I will present about the introduction for the assignment for the conference management system by our group, which is Budaksurauu. So our title is review. So review, refine, and recognize. So in this assignment too, we are required to do the Spring Boot things, such as we have done the model, repository, and service. It is required in this assignment too. So each table we have come out with the controller, which is controller. We make it as a CRUD, so we can and delete, read, update, and delete. So each table can execute the CRUD, and then our database we are using the MySQL, and then also in the assignment we are required to use Docker for a better environment, isolation environment, and make it easier to deploy the project. Okay. So this is the back end for the conference management system that will be explained more by our group members. Okay. So that's all from me. Thank you very much, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. And my name is Muhammad Abdul Halim, number metric 302410. I'm going to configure this Spring Boot project using the Spring Initializer to immediately enable the several powerful capabilities. And then with the choices that we define the project structure, language, and the technologies that we're gonna use. So the first is the project metadata. Well, I choose the Java as the language and the Maven as the build tool. Maven handles all the dependencies management and build the life cycles using the form XML file. And then I select the current stable version, the Spring Boot, which is 3.5.8. And then I use the Java packaging. This is actually the key because it makes the application fully executable and self-contained. And then the next is group the group and the artifacts IDs define the unique coordinates for our resulting libraries, which is I write as a dot route. And then the next, I'm going for the dependencies, which is the first. I'm going to talk about the Spring Data JPA, the MySQL, and then the MySQL drivers. Well, the Spring Data GPA give us the high level of object-oriented way to interact with the database using repositories. And then next is the MySQL driver, is the physical connectors, which is the Spring Boot system to automatically configure the data with connection and then manage the session factory. And then the next is the REST repositories, which is automatically exposed to our Spring Data GPA repositories as the RESTful endpoints. And then we get the get, post, put, and the delete APIs for our data model without writing any single controller classes. Then the last is the Docker Compose support, which is a development for the environment simplicity. Is automatically read our Compose YAML file and then spins up the service like our local MySQL database to container when the application starts, just for ensuring a quick and consistent setup for everyone. That's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Afif Afifi, metric number 299783. So I'm going to present to about model, controller, repo, and service. Okay, what is controller? Controller will handle incoming HTTP requests like for example this API decision. Okay, this is the decision controller which including get mapping, which get mapping for ID, get mapping paper ID, and there is also post, put, and delete mapping. So next, decision log controller, where there is it seems and contain get mapping, post mapping, and delete mapping. Okay, next, home controller, which there is a lot of get mapping, and also there is for example, they all look the same, but some may be including some may be exclude delete, some may be include uh, update. So this is invoice controller. Yeah, you can see that there's a lot of controller here. So there is a invoice controller, and same get mapping, post mapping, and put mapping, delete mapping. There's a request mapping, API, invoice. So next, login session controller, which there is login session, API, and same get mapping, post mapping, and delete mapping. I'm going to present about model. What is model? Model is a representation of our data structure in our system. So the first one is paper.java, where the paper model represents the papers table in our database. It has a primary key, which is paper ID, and important field like title, abstract, submission date, and conference years. And the status field use uh, enum to track whether a paper is submitted, accepted, or rejected. It connects to other entities, one main author, multiple co-author, and multiple keywords. Finally, it has a lifecycle hook that automatically set the submission date when a paper is created. So there is also a getter and setter for all important fields. So next, I'm going to show you about the repository. So the first example is paper repository. First one, I want to tell about what is a repo. Repo is something that handle the database operation like create, read, update, and delete. So the first one is paper repository, where it has 10 to JPA repository, .jpa repository, which means we instantly get all the standard CRUD operation without writing SQL. So the first one is find by main author is to filter paper by the author ID, and find by status is to retrieve paper by submission status, and find by title containing ignore case, which means for flexible keyword search in title, and find by conference year to get paper tied to a specific conference years.
This meeting is
Okay.
being recorded.
Okay, so next I'm going to show about the service. What is service? Service is between controller and repository. So this is the paper service where we inject paper repository using constructor injection, which keep the code clean and testable. So the service is provide key method, saving papers, retrieving all papers, finding by ID, filtering by author, and finding by ID, filtering by author, status, or conference year, and even searching title case incentively. Finally, we have a save delete method where that check if a paper exists before removing it. In short, paper service is the central hub that connect our controller to the database layer, ensuring that all paper operations are handled consistently and efficiently.
My name is Muhammad Daniel Hafiz bin Muhammad Sobri. My metric number is 298522. Today, I'm going to explain for the CRUD operation part. So firstly, we take the API from the controller. So I can do for CRUD operation. We take the from user controller. take the API. So we go to Postman. Oh, already have. Okay, already have. So we just get. So we got the all data for the get. Try for another table for invoice table. So we get the data from the invoice table. So we try put the for the user 1, user 1. Copy this for the JSON. Already have, so we just edit here. Well, we're gonna use my name, Daniel. Already have, so we Daniel Hafiz. Make it change, and the email is Hafiz Ahmad. So that's all don't disturb. So we put a post, make a post, or put same. Till we send. So they see the data is already changed to a new data. So I'm don't do a delete because I don't want to disturb our database. If I delete, maybe can affect some my database. So we can also choose for two another people, Faris. So for the name, Faris. So let's see. For user ID already changed to Faris. So that's all for my part. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and my name is Michael Muizuddin B1 Muhammad. My metric number is 299065. Today, for this part, I would like to run Docker file command. First thing first, we need to download the file in GitHub, and also run the Docker desktop. And for the next part, we need in the terminal, we need to search the directory of the Docker file, and then after we search it and we find it, we need to type one line, which is docker compose upd, and after that Docker will run, and it can be started, and it will show that container CMS MySQL is healthy and container CMS application started. So that's mean that our Docker or our application is started. So that's all. Thank you.